Welcome to another edition of Baseline Drive. I've wanted to cover this topic on a Baseline Drive for quite some time, and I don't believe I have before, but there have been some comments recently, and the most public one was a college women's basketball coach was complaining about his team being soft and was attributing that to the everyone gets a trophy mentality. Now, first, I think when you're evaluating your own team and complaining about them being soft, the first place to look probably is in the mirror, because there's a lot of tough teams that are out there that come from the same society that we're talking about. So maybe it was just an angry post-game rant that wasn't thoroughly thought out and didn't entirely come from the heart. But maybe that's what he really believes, because I think a lot of people really do. And I've got a little different take on the participation trophy than most. I happen to run a league where we give a trophy to everybody that participates, and there's some reasons behind that. I think that someone that participates is earning something more than those that do not participate at all. There are a lot of kids that are at home that are playing video games or on the computer, other kids hanging out at the mall, not doing anything productive. So that person that participates in youth sports is doing something that other players might not, and may deserve a little bit of recognition for that. I also think the manner in which the trophy is presented and the importance that people place on the trophy, from parents to coaches to league organizers, is really the issue at stake. Because a trophy is just a piece of metal, a piece of plastic, something that's meant to be memorabilia. And memorabilia simply creates a memory. And that memory is what's important, right? What people think about when they look at that trophy is really what's important. So if the end game is the trophy itself, if only the first place team gets a trophy and that's all that's important is getting that trophy, then we're not looking at sports for the value that it actually has anyway. And I think if we only give trophies to the first place team or the winners, especially in team sports, that creates some situations that are worth looking at as well. I've seen a lot of players on teams that might have been players that didn't contribute very much, put in minimal effort, didn't attend as many practices as they could or should, and didn't contribute very much to that team's success. But because of the luck of the draw or the manner in which the draft took place, they happened to end up on a really experienced team or a really good team or a team with a great coach or the team with the best player. And by default, they end up getting on a first place team and get a trophy. Conversely, there are players who work really, really hard, maybe achieve individually great, maybe are very, very talented, maybe attended every practice that they could and did as much as they could to get as much out of the sport as possible, learned a lot of life lessons along the way, but because of the same luck of the draw, end up on a really bad team with a lot of novice players that aren't very talented, or a coach that isn't very committed or organized. And they don't have a very good record and don't have a very good finish. And I always wondered, does that person deserve a trophy less than the person that put in minimal effort that happened to end up on a good team? I don't think so. So really, the memory that's created by looking at that trophy is what's important. That player that was on a poor team, hopefully, at the end of the season, we'll look back at that trophy and realize the kind of effort that they put in, the improvements that they made, the friends that they made, and the connections. And those will be positive memories created by that trophy, even though they might have been on the last place team. And that player that just happened along and tagged along on a first place team and rode somebody else's coattails without contributing very much or putting in very much effort, maybe that person looks at that trophy and remembers those things, right? I didn't really put in that much effort. It was really somebody else that had the most impact on our team's first place finish. And maybe that's what that person should remember when they look at that trophy, not what place they came in. So I think when coaches and league organizers and parents emphasize the effort and the things that people learn as the valuable thing that come out of the season, rather than just winning the trophy at the end of the year, that will create the right mindset when people look at that trophy, that they'll have an appropriate memory as the years go on. And toughness and achievement can certainly be earned, emphasized, whether a kid gets a trophy or not. So I'd encourage everybody to acknowledge all the kids for their effort, right? Relentlessly reward desired efforts. Praise and acknowledge them for their achievements. And put trophies in their right perspective. And it doesn't matter who gets them, because they'll invoke the memory that it's supposed to. That's my take. Everybody else might disagree. But I want you to go out there and I want you to be great. Coach Loke, out.